Hello and welcome everybody to another Lockout awesome race between Matty and Arrow.
Yeah, at the end of a long day, I think it's our fourth race today for Hollow Knight Lockout Randomizer Bingo. We're flipping back to the lower bracket. As with everything so far, this is loser's side, so the loser of this match their bracket run is ending here.
We will be sending someone home today, unfortunately.
All right, both our racers are ready. I'm just going to count them down in just a second here.
Looking at the board, the only thing Rush, like we've already discussed a lot of Dreamnail locked goals, Elder Who, Marissa, some other things. Shade Gates is probably like the easiest rushable goal here. That or like King's Idols, like if there's a couple of shops. Yeah. Look, and then hopefully we'll see Zotes, because that's always good fun to watch Zote get destroyed.
Yeah, especially Zote's impeccable theme music. One of the better pieces in the game.
It's amazing.
And Nosk makes a triumphant return from a race we had earlier today. It's a rare sight to see multiple Nosk kills in one day of Hollow Knight racing, for sure.
Like, who does Nosk?
Also, a pretty fortunate synergy with Defeat 2 Dream Warriors and Defeat Elder Who both on the board. As of right now, the Defeat 2 of a type of boss, Dream Warrior, Dream Boss, doesn't exclude with any specific one. On the theory that you may not always be able to route in the other bosses it tells you to do, but Elder Who is a pretty convenient and nice Dream Warrior to be able to make progress to 2 goals.
Yeah. He's one of the more annoying ones in my opinion, but he's still pretty easy with some form of damage.
You can find your way to him pretty quickly. It doesn't take a whole lot of progression to get you into Fungal.
Nah, there's lots of ways into Fungal. Yeah, his like palette swapper is freaking me out. It's purple, really purple.
Yes, Arrow in the pregame race chat, staking his claim to being a big fan of the color purple. So glad to see that in all things here.
Yeah, both of them wanted purple. Arrow ended up getting it. Ooh, a simple key. Although, does he just is uninformed about going around, or just doesn't want to make the mistake of having to redo King's Pass all over again?
I think Arrow has a pretty well-documented history of always going for this first Fury check the short way and then taking the time loss into King's Pass. So I think it's just sort of like idiosyncratic play to get ahead on that check, because sometimes it's a goal.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And you know that's a good way to get in your opponent's head real early, but
it's also not too bad of a time. I mean, it is actually, we're seeing it right here. It's a little bad, but yeah, it's not like
you conceded like 10 to 15 seconds. I think it was timed at some point to make sure you get the Fury check first. This isn't like a hugely random board. We've got a couple things that call your attention, like Collector's Map. Oh, and a nail arted Zelda. That's cool.
I would not have bought that immediately, but I mean, some extra damage is nice, right? We also have 5 charms or more on the board, so already a Zelda have a bunch. Buying strength.
And Arrow also going for. I think I like strength as a damage boost more than Great Slash to have, but also notably more expensive. So if you need to buy your way out, especially if you need to buy your way across multiple stags, that could be dangerous for Arrow.
Well, considering I'm not the one who generated the seed, I think they're going to be fine with stags.
Yeah, I did generate the seed, but I learned from the mistakes of the last seed, and it is a 9-digit seed this time, so we won't be getting Locust seed. And there's a dash already in view. See, we're fine.
I didn't see how much it was. I was gonna.
It was mid-high 2 digits. I didn't catch the exact number.
And then Stagnus pretty cheap. Not accessible right now, but still pretty cheap. Yeah, like, that's a lot of purple on this palette swapper. Ooh. I don't think I've ever seen anybody go underneath in this room. The Gome Mass Shard room? Or the Gome room, not Mass Shard room.
Yeah, so Aero, with a little bit of an information advantage, that dash is not pivotal, being at a pretty high grub number, but also seeing Stag Nest Stag could be something if they have another way out. And Spore Shroom, we are on easy logic because this is lower brackets. That's not an intended boulder killer, but it is still a way out already if you want to break logic in that way.
I mean, /2 Shade Gates is on the board. You can get there pretty quickly from Green Path. So, looks like he's not opting to do that. Understandable. There's definitely progression somewhere else in Crossroads, so... Arrow also doing something not in logic.
Sending that Vengefly to the stratosphere briefly before getting the Go Mask Shard check.
This is a check that I rarely ever do. It's just, if you don't do it right away, it's hard to come back for it.
Yeah, and it's so rarely worth it on easy logic, where you're breaking logic right away to get to it.
Yeah. I mean,
but it is something.
Really worth it.
That, all right, eating my words here already. That's 2 Shade Gates pretty freely for Arrow there. As Matty making the call to go shops first instead of False Knight first. There are a couple of shoppy goals. You got 4 Rancid Eggs, 3 King's Idols.
That's choppy. I like that. Choppy goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, and that being there at Go Mass Shard makes me think that we might find a way to get to Go Mass Shard in logic. Like, maybe that's intended to get out of Crossroads. But, well, I mean, if you get any vertical, you get out anyways, but...
Yeah, I mean, it makes it an easier trip to Fungal if, like, Claw is their way out, rather than having to go all the way around. And Matty gonna set up the Shade Skip immediately, so they're looking to grab Salubra out of logic as well.
Yeah, I mean, with the amount of, like, some of the Ram obtains, I don't see that as a bad option. It's just very long to do.
So Arrow getting that bench and pausing. Looks like not gonna go for that 2 Shade Gates right away. Gonna do a lap around Crossroads first.
Yeah, like, once again, you know something's here. I guess you might as well get it, right? So, there's a nice divergence of getting the False Knight instead of Salubra. Oh, look, Vanilla Shaman Stone.
And in the correct position in the shop, too, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it?
I think it's the second charm down.
I don't think
Maybe
it's
I'm mistaken. Any percent runners in the chat will absolutely correct me on that.
Any percent runner in the call right now. I don't even remember. So. Yeah, I don't think it is in the second. I think it's in, like, the 3rd or 4th position.
Gotcha.
Also, Arrow with strength is gonna destroy Mr. False Knight over here.
Yeah. And a Lifeblood Charm at Sly as the only thing of real heavy interest.
Matty did pick up the Sports Room, maybe just in case for later.
It's also very, very cheap with have 5 or more charms on the board.
That's a good point.
But yeah, the damage uptick from Unbreakable Strength gonna mean AeroRaiser has bought himself probably a solid minute to anything that's behind False Knight here.
Yeah, and like I said, I think there has to be something here. Because so far we haven't seen any logical way out. I don't think Sports Room's easy. That's medium, right?
Sports Room is a medium logic boulder
So
killer.
yeah, something has to be here. That's, I mean, that's worth it, because that's a goal.
Yeah, part of the goal. It's not here, then it must be VS, and it looks like it must be VS.
Unless I'm forgetting something. They don't have a spell. Yeah, guess it has to be VS.
So we'll see exactly how Seed intends for them to get out of Crossroads in just a second here. As Matty also making good work of the false knight fight.
There it is.
Claw right away. All right, so Seed busted pretty well wide open, but Claw on its own without dash is still not the most fun movement, especially when you infect the Crossroads right away.
Yeah, he's not happy about that, and I don't blame him. However, easy right side. Like I think that the infection pogo is a lot easier than the shade skip with just Claw. Is there anything in right side? I guess the Coliseum guy, right?
Yeah. Although NPC and Coliseum Hot Spring without dash is also not really fun to get to.
Yeah.
Kill a Great Hopper with Infection Pogo to right side. You could. I think it's still decently appealing to go left side and clean up. Like you got Aluba, you got. Oh, also kill a Light Seed is now trivial, but Arrow not going for it.
Yeah, I believe it's in the room next to the guarded grub or by the elevator is the places you can get the Light Seed.
Yeah, so the easiest way with the Light Seed once you infect Crossroads is the room next to the guarded grub and Myla.
Correct. Arrows does have the advantage of knowing grubs. Now with Claw, I mean, he also had Queen Station stacks, so Green Path grubs were there, so that dash is probably getting at least close to being in logic. Also, I think I was right that that might have been their way out of Crossroads, because I thought they were going to get a vertical, find that at go mash shard, and then get out. Because can they get out? I mean, they could go to cliffs.
Yeah, the way out is all the way around through cliffs, so certainly much more convenient to go to Queen Station stag. Gets you right at the heart of things. And now, obviously, with Infection, there's a whole lot more they can do.
I believe Matty will be doing the Light Seed as we speak.
Yep, there's not a whole lot of other reason without
there it is.
Dive to come this way in Crossroads, so Matty's going to put himself on the board. A bit unfortunate for Arrow, having been first to Claw and Infection, and not marking it.
Yeah. Little unfortunate for sure. I think he could have done it. I think he just skipped right past it. Maybe just autopiloted to Slubra chops. Maybe for this 5 charm notch or 5 charm goal, maybe.
Yeah, but Salubra resplendent with relics, but light on charms.
Oh.
So it looks like Matty already eyeing the glowing loom entrance.
I don't think that really is possible. Was he just opening it for later? Because I don't think that's possible with just Claw.
You need something else. You actually, from this position, need 2 something else's. I don't think Great Slash is a sufficient enough air stall to do that spike tunnel.
Maybe he might be able to do it with an MG, but still needing to at least something else to help him with it.
So Arrow opting not to take advantage of that Queen Station stag, instead going to go up into cliffs.
Did he? I think it was Matty that got the... Or was it Arrow? Am I blanking?
Arrow did go Master Art for the stag. So Matty looks like going to go back and check grub, so he's going to find that dash as well as Stag Nest stag. So 18 for Mothwing Cloak. Hopefully that is not the first intended dash. Although with Claw this early, the grub hunt becomes more feasible.
Yeah, it was also cheap, Stagnus. So, because they can't get up there, they don't have wings, so that's 2 like free checks if they just get a couple grubs.
And so at this point, there's a fair bit of stuff that are one key piece away from in terms of marking goals. We've already obviously there's some random ones, but also there are 2 goals right now that require 2 simple keys, Gigi's Hut and Dreamnail Marissa, with a simple key already at Fury. And right side access relatively easy, even though not logical, with the Infection and Claw.
Yeah. I don't think Defender's like talking to them while Stinky is on the board, so that's unfortunate.
Not this time around.
Wrong goal. However, buying out Leg Eater is on the board, and I mean, make it easier, make him cheaper.
Yeah, that's one of those really. Oh, and a goal for Arrow. Actually, 2. Is that his 5th charm already?
Did he already? Wait. When did he get the 5th charm? Did he buy it?
Deathcrest, Spore Shroom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think with 11:33 spent, so gonna take a quick 2-1 lead, and Matty will quickly find this BS, assuming they continue to the bottom of cliffs, and
I mean, yeah, he'll know that he's behind that, or he found a different one, but more than likely is behind. Balder Killer too.
Yeah, extra convenient routing.
It's perfect.
Sure beats having to do Boulder Shell with Spore Shroom.
Spore Shroom isn't that bad. It's just knowing that it can kill a Boulder is the hard part. Because, I don't know. Considering Grimchild doesn't kill Boulders, there's some things where I'm just like, what will and what won't at some point. So.
And it seems like the Hollow Knight community is developing new ways to kill Boulders every single day.
We hate those things.
For all, 3 instances where they show up in the game, most tech has been developed. Arrow also taking the time here to kill Vengefly King. It's a little bit of Geo, but it doesn't look like... I mean, buyout Leg Eater is a thing, but you can go to right side at this point, and you've gotten King's Idols already. So I don't know. It's a fast fight for sure, but it's giving Matty a chance to catch up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, probably just for like the shop goes, like eggs and possibly other random, like the King's Idols is still on the board. I think we did see some at shops. So looks like he is grinding for Geo though. Green Path's not bad for Geo. It's not the easiest Geo, but
yeah, especially when you're in this fairly conventional early game standpoint, VS and not much else. It's pretty efficient to just beat up a ton of Moss Knights.
Yeah, and then Grubs also will get you some Geo if you go swing by there. And Green Path is riddled with Grubs, so... Now, the real question is, do we see Hornet?
In the last race, Hornet was something critical. I don't remember exactly what it was, but there was something funny. I think it was Shaman Stone at the Hornet 1 fight, and both runners ignored it. So, by the law of large numbers, it's useless this time, and both runners are going to go for it.
This is true. That's how it works.
Pretty sure that's how math works.
Yes, probability. Looks like we might see it.
Arrow's headed back up.
Yep, looks like he's going for it. The Hollow Knight randomizer bounces around just depending on what SpeedGaming wants it to be on, I guess, or what's available. It's not always 3.
Just had a recent string of being on one consistent channel, which I like, especially on big race days like this where you got a ton of races back to back to back to back.
Oh yeah. Don't have to, like, you could just leave it on at that point. And it looks like Matty is not opting to go for Hornet, although that was a really quick fight, all things considered.
If strength does a runner good.
Oh, and it was something good. Look at that.
All right.
Glowing Loom, right?
Yeah, that is exactly what you need for Glowing Loom. Also gives you a pretty free kill in Aluba. Oh, you're right here.
I guess you can go all the way to the end, huh?
If you C-dash to the back wall.
Didn't even know that. Yeah, then you have VS as well, so... Oh, he has Shaman, though. That's all you need is VS Shaman to kill Luba. Makes it just big enough to... Looks like he is going across though. There it is.
So Arrow going to go up 3-1. And meanwhile, Matty, it looks like, rushing down 2 Shade Gates. So a pretty good goal trade from both of these runners.
Yeah. Well, wait.
Oh, or not. Getting the Stone Sanctuary bench and then headed away.
Literally invisible. I can't see. It's a little blurry for me how much he has, but... Looks like he's going for these shop goals. Is this right side from Arrow? I don't think so. Oh, Glowing Room. Duh. I just mentioned it and forgot it immediately. Oh.
Don't... Man, that infected room...
It's the reason why it's called Hell Room.
Is so unkind.
Yeah, apparently Shade Gates is our tiebreaker this seed because it's been available for quite a while.
Yeah,
Usually
usually
don't want to do it.
Usually when there's a green path goal but both runners turn their nose up at, it's killing the Luba that sits on the board forever. But it looks like Shade Gates will go unmarked.
Killing an Aluba actually requires more than slashing the Shade Gates, which is always funny. Alright, so this... what a snipe.
Yeah, that did look like his Matty's fourth Rancid Egg there. So gonna get back on the board. Good memory there to get the 1 grub Rancid Egg. Matty also checked well for a King's Idol, which I don't know if Arrow did. So they have a pretty solid leg up on that goal to get the shoppy goals out of the way early to stop Arrow from being able to take those back later.
Sure. I believe we did see 1 or 2 shops, right? Like a King's Idol somewhere?
I think so. We also haven't seen Leg Eater yet, and you can get there pretty conveniently with Infection.
Especially with Claw, yeah. It's almost pretty free. They both have VS. I believe you can Fireball skip there, right? If you really wanted to.
To Leg Eater?
Like from Fungal, or from Crossroads to Fungal.
I don't actually know about that. I think Infection is the fastest, is the, like, conventional way to do that?
Definitely, like, the easier of the two.
I don't actually know if there's an air stall out to Fungal from a non-infected Crossroads.
Could have sworn, but I could be wrong. Never really had to do it in a race or anything.
Yeah.
And there's Glowing Loom.
So, pretty quick 4-2 on a 20 minutes in. Not something you see all the time. Also, Arrow demonstrating good like game and logic knowledge. Kloss E- for this check is in logic, but certainly not intuitive.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying because you absolutely will headbutt some spikes sometimes. I was like, oh, I just a little bit too high. Like, also, World Sense, not the useless item that you need right now. You need a Collector's Map.
Yeah, that was last game. So into Fungal as Matty goes right side. So good divergence from the runners.
And Arrow just picked up another free egg, so it's probably for the better that Matty absolutely took that from him.
Yeah, that recollection of the 1 grub was very, very smart.
Yeah, I would not have remembered that. Please don't die here. Yep.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
The flying guy made it all the way over there to him?
Sometimes
that was
just get bullied.
That guy followed him from so far away. Oh, that sucks.
There was nowhere to go. So Matty just going to set this up again. Fortunately, the Crossroads is infected. So if Matty had Shade skipped there and then died, it would be much more devastating because they would have to lose all of their Geo in order to get back over to right side. But with Infection, at least you can get back there and kill your Shade for only the time loss and not the time and resource loss.
There you go. Bench flies are mean. I'm assuming this will be the leg eater. Yeah. Okay, so we will get to see a leg eater. That'll be every shop.
And Arrow with that geo farming early. Good leg up, even ignoring the unfortunate death from Matty. Good leg up on buying out Leg Eater.
Probably just doesn't have enough right now, but can get to Lem with just C-Dash Claw. Oh, there's a dash there.
And a dash there, and some geo pickup, which is great.
Oh, a lot of geo, yeah. And I believe that might be his third? No, that's his second.
So yeah, we now know where Three Kings Idols are, but they're split up between the runners. Also, Arrow, uninformed about equipping Defender's Crest. You hate to see it.
It takes too long to equip it. Plus, you're lowering your standards. So, looks like he is working towards the buyout leg eater with buying all these stonks with the eggs.
Yeah, buying out Salubra in order to buy out Leg Eater, but 2 arcane eggs in one shop is a pretty good cash infusion.
Yeah, pretty cheap too. Like I think both of them were less than 300. Yeah, that guy needs to go away because that guy is the one that killed him last time. There you go.
Well, let's say
that dash though, dash and C. Oh, speaking, dash and C dash is gonna make Arrow's life a lot easier.
Yeah, big horizontal advantage in this part of the game where you're still just sort of like running around to different areas of the map for the first time is a pretty tough thing to have to try and come back from, especially since with Matty already on right side, it may be a while before they go back to Leg Eater.
Yeah, and especially if Arrow buys out Leg Eater, he might never go back to Leg Eater. Disincentivize him from going there. That's Matty's third. Okay.
So, just in the nick of time.
Yep. That's really fortunate. And he just gets to instantly go sell that to Len since he does have city access now. Oh. Neither runner doing the gauntlet, which is another King's Idol right there.
Sometimes the seed just wants to be extra generous to you.
Neither runner doing the gauntlet above King's Station, even though I believe it requires one spell, which they both have.
With Claw and a spell, that is definitely in logic.
I believe you don't need any vertical to get up to it. I think the pogo isn't easy, if I remember correctly.
That may well be. I don't actually know. But in any case, with what they have, it is most definitely in logic. And Matty continuing on to Kingdom's Edge. So gonna get early access to Splash the NPC.
Found his own Crystal Dash.
Wow, that's pretty big. I don't know if Matty knows the acid skip through here. Yeah, it looks like they eye the transition and then fall down instead.
You need wings and dash to do this. I don't think you can do it with just C-Dash. I
know there is a conventional-looking acid skip that I believe Insomnia labbed out, but it is much wackier than the like C-Dash Dash Wings one that True Ending does.
But the problem with it is that finding his own dupe Crystal Dash is that there's like a lip where the wall is, so like you would have to dash to grip the wall to.
Well, it may require a dash at the beginning of the thing, but there is definitely a setup with a neutral wall jump at the end of the thing that looks a little bit like QGA in execution. That's just one of the wackier skips that's been posted recently. So like I said, we're always developing new skips because why settle?
Yeah, considering how long this game's been out for, it's pretty nice. Oh, that's going to be unfortunate for Matty.
That is conceding 2 goals right there.
Yeah. That's going to hurt. Oh, and he's just going to know how close he was, too.
Yep, so Arrow marking Great Hopper. And assuming Arrow continues over to Splash the NPC, and it looks like Matty is turning around, even forsaking their shade. So best case scenario for Matty right now is turn around, sell everything they've got, head back towards Leg Eater to get the buyout, and pick up Dash there. That keeps them in the race as much as possible.
Yeah, definitely. And he probably can assume that Aero is going to continue into Edge to get his other goal. So definitely finding that dash is just like, obviously he doesn't know that, but like buying out Leg Eater, doing some easy goals just to keep you in is really going to help. Oh yeah, Lem's outside vibing.
Like he does sometimes. Still no sign of any Dream Nail. We're starting to get to the point in the game where those Dream Nail goals looking real enticing to all do together.
They don't have C-Peaks access as far as I can tell. So Mimics isn't a thing until they get wings or dive, I guess. But they do have C-Dash, which gets the one grub or the one Mimic that everyone can't get to immediately. Ah, vanilla.
You love to see it, especially when it's eggs.
Oh yeah, you love the eggs. Also, Soulmaster is on the board. It's gonna be not the best fight without dash or any damage, but I mean, doable.
Yeah, VS. It's not the end of the world.
He's relatively easy fight. It's just kind of long, once again, without anything. And there's our logical left side access.
You love seeing City Crest. Now they can get to City. Yeah, at least Matty has nail art, so they will be able to skip worst room in the game.
Hell room.
Elegant key at Kalo 1. Let's hope that's not anything meaningful.
I'm sorry, what was that color one?
Elegant key.
Elegant key, okay. I heard key, and I'm like, there's 3 that it could be. I don't...
So Aero gonna get the Kalo NPC. Good on Matty to abandon that, because even if they went back and went right for the Kalo goals, they would still probably lose on principle just to Aero having dash.
Yeah, dash is huge. Still waiting on that /2 Shade Gates goal.
It'll happen eventually, I'm sure.
You hope so.
So yep, this is going to be the Soul Sanctum play from mattyloz. And meanwhile, Aero probably buys out Leg Eater in the meantime.
Yeah, buying that King's Idol probably indicates that. He's going to get some more stonks. Although he also has 2 Arcane Eggs, so...
If I recall correctly, there was like 1 Pale Aura Leg Eater that looked kind of expensive, and then the rest was pretty doable.
Yeah, and he should have Defender's Crest, so... Helmadulka to Lem indeed.
The reason that Shade Gates still exist is because both runners decided to leave Green Path before doing Shade Gates, and the jury is out on why exactly that occurred.
It's the tiebreaker. You can't do the tiebreaker right away, right?
Zotes into Shade Gates for goals 12 and 13.
That'd be great.
Content we all deserve. Yeah, AeroRaiser gonna become a wealthy, wealthy man right now.
Also, Matty not having his shade right now. It's not good.
Blood's a nice pickup in some horrible circumstances, but not necessarily a great charm to have right away.
Yeah, we don't even have Trampass, so I'm not getting any use.
And it looks like Aero is starting to eye this Soulmaster goal first, so that's sort of best case scenario for Matty, especially if there's another dash or a Dream Nail behind these checks. Because it's pretty much theirs for the taking.
Yeah, I would assume, unless Aero's in the middle of the fight, a warp out if once Matty marks this. Have fun walking to go fight him every time he teleports. It's always the worst.
Dashless Soulmaster is like a little annoying. Dashless Soul Tyrant is genuinely, yeah, head in hands, hair pulling out, infuriating.
Yeah. Oh, look, he did warp out. I think he was just setting up for the Soulmaster and then doing this first, which makes sense.
So there's that expensive Paylor, and that's the goal. So gonna pretty heavily preclude Matty from heading in that direction, which will cost them access to their dash. Especially, they haven't been farming grubs super hard, but especially if they feel the need to get that 18 grub cloak at some point in the late game, that would be really painful.
Yeah, that's really rough. Especially when the easy one is right there. Could come in handy for later, but I don't see any like Shade Cloak locked goals here, right? Not that I'm seeing, like no Markov, no Trader Lord, so.
And there's /2 Shade Gates, which obviously requires Shade Cloak. It's in the name, but other than that.
My God.
Yeah, no, but other than our new confirmed tiebreaker, it looks like we're getting to a pretty decent check mode sort of vibe for both of these runners. You need a dive or a dream nail or a simple key for most of these things, or you need the mental fortitude to want to do Nosk, although he is technically accessible right now. I highly doubt we will see either runner move in that direction with the damage they've got.
Speaking of damage that they've got, Arrow is opting to upgrade his nail. This leads in well for Eternal Ordeal. Nosk, obviously, like just these bosses are going to go easier, except for Elder Who or Dream Warriors. It's going to be a little annoying, but not too bad.
Yeah, this board is actually a really interesting split because you've got a couple Dream Warriors and a couple bosses that don't scale with your nail upgrades. As Hamafi pointed out in commentary earlier today, all but one of the Dream Warriors don't scale at parity with your nail upgrades, so you still are getting more damage out of your nail swings on each boss. It just sort of neuters your spell effectiveness.
Yeah, that's why I don't do it, because I use spells way too much in fights.
Especially with Shaman Stone known to the players this early, it does feel like you're compromising those goals, but at the same time, having damage against Nosk and against the Eternal Ordeal is a really good thing.
Yeah. You're asking where the Eternal Ordeal is. It's in the Hall of Gods all the way to the right. It requires dash and wings, or C dash and wings, and claw. And yeah, it is in vanilla game. But also locked behind a Dream Nail, behind a dive, behind claw and dash. So you basically need everything. Oh wait, are we seeing?
Oh my god!
Are we
35 minutes in, the tiebreaker's out. I think this is one of the fastest times we've ever seen a tiebreaker knocked off the board.
Wow. Yeah, it's all the way on the right side of the Hall of Gods, up at the top. Do you ever do the Eternal Ordeal, Quack? That not in a race, just for fun?
Not just for fun. I did it. I had it in a couple of races. No, I never fought for the golden zone. And a goal on the way. AeroRaiser lucking out a little bit.
That's nice. Yeah, this is unfortunate for Matty for sure.
That's a pretty big snowball. 8-4 is a lead that is high enough to be dangerous. 9-4.
9-4? Oh, he does have 9. Wow, okay. I'm Snail.
Yeah, this is the point where Arrow can start to place himself on check mode and goal rush, because he can afford to concede a couple things to Matty and still have a pretty clear path to winning. I mean, hey, technically, a single Dream Nail at this point gives Arrow a static path to victory.
Yeah.
Or a Dream Nail and one more simple key.
Yeah, because Dream Nailing Marissa.
Although, no, because with Nosk, you can, that's 4 goals there. 3 Dream Mill ones and Nosk, even without the simple key.
Yeah, but who wants to do Nosk?
It's fair. It's a fair point.
Vitor, my Zote PB is 164.
That's insane.
Yeah, it gets pretty like monotonous after a while. You just kind of get a feel for it. Water. This is the first time we've seen waterways, even though they've had a key from the beginning.
Yeah, it's a little rougher for Addy without that dash.
Doesn't have dive either to make it easier. Although claw is nice.
And it looks like they're starting with this upper check.
And they're gonna go swing back around. That's smart. I never do that. Taking notes.
And this Worm, dedicated.
I don't think. Yeah, I think Arrow is just in checks mode. I don't think there's anything other than Nosk available to him at the moment. Doesn't have wings. Can't go into Fungal Core.
You could technically do kill 4 mimics by way of Colo 2, but much like Nosk, I highly doubt that is the play you're looking for.
Yeah, that no, no, that ain't gonna do that.
That's the sort of thing you do when you know that C Dash is at Flower Quest.
Yeah, or like Colo 2. Colo 2 has the other C Dash or something.
Yeah.
At least attempt to get it, and then if you don't get it, at least you get the mimic out of the deal. I do like this routing going from the top. Well then.
There it is. Vanilla Mantis Claw. It's always Mantis Claw. Either it's Vanilla Mantis Claw or it's the item you're looking for at Mantis Claw.
Pretty much, yeah. So Elder Who, 2 Dream Warriors. Need another simple key for Marissa, so that's not a feasible goal right now. I think that's pretty much it, huh?
Yeah, he's still looking for a dive for Eternal Ordeal.
Have we seen an essence check from either racer here?
I don't believe so, no.
It definitely doesn't have a path to victory quite yet, but now it's getting real scary for Matty. Real scary.
He does. It's just a terrible, terrible path to victory.
Wait, Elder Who?
Elder Who, Dream Warriors, Nosk, and 4 mimics.
Oh. I don't count the mimics. Even if it would get you the win, I feel like most people would opt to go for checks.
I have in races, I have definitely turned my nose up at far more convenient static ways to win than do most of Call 2.
I agree.
Especially with as much damage as they're currently rocking. Although Arrow in a little better place damage-wise with Nail 2 strength. The early G Russian Nail upgrades was good. Meanwhile, Matty, on the flip side, with the spell build complete, Shaman Shade Soul.
You can't get the C-Peaks Mimic because he doesn't have access to C-Peaks. You need either Lantern, Wings, or Dive to get into C-Peaks. And they don't have any. Which, Lantern is only 1 in the game, there's 3 dives and 2 wings, so it's definitely possible they can find it eventually. Honestly, there's probably something at Essence that can get them there. And once Matty sees this Elder Who mark, that's concerning.
That's when the pressure's on.
Yeah.
It's a 10-4 lead that you probably can't stop from becoming an 11-4 lead.
To go from the Lantern or the Dark Room, you do need Lantern. You are unable to purchase the toll without Lantern. Is this in logic with nothing? Okay, well.
No, the Broken Bridge is considered a spike tunnel. So it's actually on hard logic only with nothing.
Okay. Where are we going for Arrow here? Bretta?
Is this Beretta and Dashmaster?
2 checks, I guess.
I mean, he can afford to make his way around pretty casually.
GG, Jamie. Okay, please don't die in Basin. I think I have died in this room like once before, and I felt real silly for dying there.
Yeah, it's always frustrating to die very, very far from a bench.
Or like right next to a bench that you just haven't gotten yet.
There's a second simple key.
What? Mod login.
Sometimes you get things, and sometimes the fountain is a rancid egg.
Yep. Was like, what could have Matty done to like remove himself from this, or to fix this situation like beforehand, like prevent it rather? I guess just go to Leg Eater quicker, or
yeah, that Leg Eater was really pivotal, especially when you could have gotten to Leg Eater quickly via Infection Pogo early,
or just make your way up there from not Gardens, Green Path, right? It's not too bad from there.
Speaking of Ismas,
a little bit late to be worth anything at this point.
Yeah. I gotta quickly get, I believe, his 11th goal.
Yeah.
And a dupe Ismas at the same time.
Yeah, once again, not really much that gets them in terms of goals. Like, Matty can't get anything with that. Unless there's, like, something behind. Or, like, at Fog Canyon. Which they could do with the skip, but this is second Dream Warrior.
Arrow, very honorable, going to formally challenge the Warrior Dream instead of just Dream nailing it. You'll love to see it.
I just Dream nail him. Too much talking. Although, you do have to give credit to Gorb. Gotta ascend.
Sometimes you just gotta ascend with Gorb. So Matty back in Green Path. Looks like this is a massive Moss Charger checks. Yeah, a little lost. You kind of have to just hope to outcheck your opponent to be able to even pull back into this. Unfortunately, this is not the direction where Dash is.
Could be, but I don't think so. I don't think there's anything he can do right now. Like, the only thing he can do is go kill Nosp right now to make sure his static path is not there anymore. Now he just has to do checks, but even then, it's... At some point, excuse me, he's gonna find something, you know?
Yeah, if there's a whole lot that just sort of wins Arrow a game outright.
Anything of any value really will.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Hate to see Grubber flies there.
And I don't think he has the bench by Queen Station, Matty. So, and without base dash or regular dash, not C dash, it's gonna be hard to beat Arrow to it. Arrow's gonna have to take a death.
Yeah, it looks like the Nosk play. So in the last race, our Lumafly Lantern was at Nosk. We want to see something of value at Nosk again to really put the icing on the cake.
I mean, there's no point. I mean, like, once he marks it, oh, hey, look, Dupe Claw.
Nice.
There's really no point for him to even check it after he kills Nosk, so...
Oh yeah, forgive me, I didn't see the update on the tracker. This is simply the end.
Yep.
So a perfectly valid time to rush Nosk is when he is your 13th goal, and there are very few other valid times to rush Nosk. Is Matty going to find their unfortunate grub song?
Yeah. And there's no way, unless Arrow skips the bench and dies, I don't think Matty can catch up to Nosk. He really should be going for Nosk, though, at least.
It looks like this is the rough pathing that they're on, but...
stopping for every check along the way might not be viable when your opponent can win outright right now, and you know they can. All you need is Claw and C-Dash, which Matty has himself, so...
I mean, technically this isn't even in logic for Aero. I mean, we obviously know there are more spells to be found, but Nosk is most definitely a boss, and so expects you to have 2 spell levels in order to take him on.
Yeah, we do know where there is one. Also very accessible with the simple key. It's just the right egg next to the bench. Was we found Shade Soul or something?
Yeah, it was in Waterways.
So this it's going to be annoying, but strength hopefully will save him here.
Matty also demonstrating pretty skillful movement. I spoke too soon and cursed too hard.
Yeah, you can't do it that low.
This is why commentating is no fun. But
it's a lot of fun. I love cursing.
But this is good for thinking of the check for sure.
Once again, not the useless item you need. Checking Sporg. Hopefully he does go for Nosk. Like, I don't think he can beat him, but I mean, give yourself a shot, you know?
Yeah, it looks like we're bypassing it, so...
I think he's just getting the check. I believe. Oh no, Sporgs.
Sporgs are a bully. And here's our Nosk fight. Nail 2 strength. Got a spell for when the spider is far away.
Is he a spider? I guess so, huh?
I mean, he's closer to a spider than anything else.
I think I was watching Monster, but like in Pantheon, the winged Nosk. It's called winged Nosk, but he called it Nosket.
Yeah, because it's Hornet.
I loved it. I want to call it that now.
Wow, Noska's really slipping on those ledges in this fight. I have not seen him misbehave that badly with the edge of the platform ever, I don't think.
Does he only have 6 legs? It does look like he does. 6 plus the 2 little arms in front that doesn't seem to be using as legs. Can you hit Nosk up in the sky without wings, like with your nail? Or do you need wings to get up there?
I don't actually know. I will be the first to admit Nosk is not a fight that I practice. Because he's Nosk.
Nosk is probably one of my least practiced ones, too. And that'll be 13, right?
Yeah, with a celebratory juggle on the mask.
Oh, we get to see it anyways. That was nothing. That's probably a sign of where it was.
Just as Matty finds their dash, you truly hate to see it.
Yeah, that was rough. GG's.
It
was less of a snowball and more of that dash made so much of the difference for everything.
Sometimes you just outdash your opponent. It wasn't even like... We've had races where there are a lot of goals right next to more goal, like a lot of checks that are progression or goals themselves right next to static goals. And it wasn't too bad a card in that regard. It was just you muscled through the early game and had a massive horizontal movement advantage.
Yeah, had a big early lead into having an advantage on movement, which really helped.
So I am going to pull up our spoiler log as we invite the runners into this game interview. Hello, GG.
GG. That was a seed. Gold chaining into goal into goal.
Yeah, I noticed.
I was sitting there like, I wonder if I could kill an Aluba by just pogoing off of the Moss Knight and hit it and then find C-Dash. I'm like, cool, that just became free.
I think you can with Shaman. You can kill it with the VS.
Yeah. And I had Shaman, so yeah, I was going to be trying things. I had Shaman Stone.
Yeah. I saw you had the Kalula, so I figured you're way ahead of me on like Green Path Fungal. So I
only did Hornet, Stag, and because I went into Green Path through cliffs.
Yeah, I went there as well because I figured out that's what you did when I found the VS.
I
later.
did nothing else in Green Path.
Yeah, I infection skipped to right side because I figured you were handling a Green Path, and then just like, I mean, I found a couple of the random goals, but like just didn't find anything I needed, and then
Now, as soon as
immediately
I
got
got
punished for
that,
skipping Leg Eater.
yeah, Leg Eater was kind of huge here, and Salubra having the 2 arcane eggs made buying Leg Eater out completely free.
Yeah, Salubra was stacked 2 arcane eggs and Shaman Stone. I was like, okay, I see.
Yeah, I bought the Shaman Stone because I was like, okay, I need 5 or more charms anyway, so let's see if Sly has any charms and go from there. And we got that.
I wasn't actually checking comms. Had Arrow killed the Great Hopper before I died to the Great Hopper, or did I?
No, you were actually out ahead.
Oh, sorry, shouldn't swear in stream. Sorry, my bad.
You were out ahead into Kingdom's Edge, despite being down dash, and then the death.
And then I died to the Great Hopper.
Oh
man!
Well, when I saw you mark the King's Idols, I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then I saw 2 King's Idols in King Station.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need to go snipe Great Hopper now.
Yeah. Well, no, literally, I died to the Great Hopper. I got eaten by like the small Great Hoppers, and I was like, I was on 1 mask for a bunch of time, trying desperately to not die, and then eventually.
If I wasn't certain you were already out there, thanks to the King's Idols goals, I probably would have waited to kill a Great Hopper until I was almost a Kalo.
Yeah.
And I probably would have killed that one.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think Arrow had more damage, but you had such a lead.
Yeah,
you probably still would have gotten it.
I grabbed the toll. I grabbed the city toll bench. Went back
you went that way.
Went back to grab a goal.
Right.
I think it was finished buying out Leg Eater.
Right, makes sense.
And then I was gonna come back and do Soul Master after doing nail upgrades. On the nail upgrades,
I did nail zero. I did nail zero death with Soul Master. That was fun. Not gonna lie, that was a fun time.
Yeah, like, you sniped that one out of me because I was going to get nail upgrades and then I was gonna climb up Soul Sanctum. As soon as you marked that, I'm like, well, I'm not touching Soul Sanctum now.
Which is fair. I mean, like I can only do. Wasn't it literally that works? I could only do 2 checks and never found a dive.
I was committing to Nosk because I was like, that's a goal he probably could get now. So I was on the way to Mantis Lords and then find the Dream Nail on Mantis Claw.
Is that where Dream Nail was? Yeah, because that was basically like once you did all those goals back to back, I was looking at the board realizing that basically I had to find Dream Nail. That was basically my only chance to win.
Yeah, Dream Nail was on Mantis Claw.
Yeah, and
I was like, okay, cool.
The moment I saw you had Dream Nail, right? Like I tried to like find dash and like contest, but like
I'm surprised neither of us went after the Shade Gates. I found Grub's song in Fog Canyon on the way to the Shade Gate.
Right. Yeah. See, because I figured you were ahead. I was just giving you, like, I figured I would give you Shade Gates for free, so I could then go and beat you to Great Hopper, which I then died to. And then I actually saw you had marked Shade Gates. I was like, why hasn't Arrow marked Shade Gates?
I have a bad habit of putting Shade Gates off if I don't go through Fog Canyon.
Yeah.
No one likes Shade Gates.
Yeah.
I actually did find
the Elegy and the Grub song, but again, you.
Oh wow! I was also just casually grabbing Grubs along the way, just in case that 18 Grubs cloak was required.
Yeah.
Like how many Grubs?
Well, that is actually how my 4th rancid egg was. The 1 Grub rancid egg.
Okay, I had 5 rancid eggs when we stopped. I found 4 King's Idols overall. I found so many like relics and random things. Like I was desperately relics.
Trying to find
nice.
dive or lanterns so I could get into.
I never found a dive either.
Me neither. Yeah.
All right, we got the spoiler log up. Let's take a look at some.
I was really hoping it wasn't gonna be a super close race because I've never done the Eternal Ordeal, so that would have been an interesting bit of content.
That actually gave me some. When seeing you said that you never done your Eternal Ordeal, I was like, I've done your Eternal Ordeal. Maybe I have a chance. But then I saw how fast you were marking goals. I was like, it was especially when you marked check glowing room. I knew you were like way ahead of me. That you had a move item I missed. tried. I mean, I don't even know if I don't even know if that spike tunnel's possible with just nail, but I died on the way to it to the vent flies anyway. So
No, it is
Not
not. I have
dash.
not been a. Yeah, I think
Dash
it's
and
doable with
airsoft.
like a dash
Oh,
combination.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dash airsoft dash master. It'll do
So
it
it's
for
just extra deaths for me just for fun. All right.
So our 3 dives, to start there, our 3 dives, there was a dive at Moloch. There was
okay. Okay.
The one time I put off Molly.
there was a vanilla descending dark, and
Okay.
there
Oh
was
my
a third
gosh.
dive in the Black Egg Temple.
Jesus.
Yeah,
So I was never finding dive. Okay.
This is the first tourney seed that I have skipped Moloch, and it
Mm.
has something.
Immediately punished. Yeah.
That's how
I mean,
it
it's
works, so
fine.
it's how
It
you
would have
miss it.
baited me into the entirety of Sea Peaks, though,
Yeah.
which would have gotten me the Crystal Crawler entry and
Yeah.
D
And
Sea
Dark.
Peaks was pretty good.
That's it. Depending, unless there was a dream nail. Now there's a dream nail up there.
I
that
wanted
didn't
I
say
wanted to
anything.
go to Sea Peaks. I just couldn't find
Where
it.
was
Yeah.
Grimchild? Because we never solved that.
Yeah, Grimchild was at the Watcher Knight's Geo Chest.
every time I'm in Peaks with Claw, in City with Claw, I'm like, I should do Watcher. And it's like, nah. Like I know it's a meme, but like I should put this up.
I
And then
know.
every time it's
Oh,
something. It's always
I was
something.
sitting there looking at the goals. I'm like, okay, I'm looking at my goals. 2 of them are possible right now. Do I go kill mimics or do I go for content and do Nosk?
Oh, you always go for the content. I mean, like,
Yeah, I was like, let's
I
have some
mean,
content.
yeah.
I mean, without wings or a way into Peaks, 4 Mimics is pretty content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the last item on the spoiler log is just a random one-off goal. Collector's Map was in Pleasure House. Is the
Oh,
last
okay.
thing.
Oh
Okay.
wow! So if I had
So Pleasure
chosen
House was 2
Marissa
gold if you
over
had opened it, yeah.
Gigi's, yeah, if I had chosen Marissa over Gigi's hut, wow, I
I
chose
only ever
Gigi's hut
found
because
I only
had
ever
just,
found the one simple key. So
well, I had just rescued Bretta, so I was like, you know what?
right.
Let's open Gigi's hut. Wow, yeah, doing Marissa would have been 2 more goals. Wow.
Where were the wings?
Yeah.
Excellent question. The Monarch Wings were at Vanilla Monarch Wings.
Classic. Classic.
With the dupe wings at Shade Soul, and I believe we saw Elegant Key at Kalo 1.
Elegant Key is Kalo 1.
Jeez.
Yeah,
So
that ain't happening.
okay. So I was my only
if
my
we
only
ever got-
chance at getting progression was if I had actually just made the absolutely like desperate play to go and try to go for vanilla wings, but I quickly gave up on basin because I was just not in a good spot.
Yeah, I'm looking at there's 3 goals that were in Peaks. Insane.
As well as there was another Dream Nail at Crown.
Mm.
Oh well, we wouldn't have gotten there without wings.
Well, at least I was rewarded for skipping resting grounds because I used to
I
always
did
go to
too.
resting grounds on the way. and
I
then
skipped resting
oh,
rounds this time because I was rushing goals.
That was another fun death I had. I died on my way to King Station, but I had a re-infection pogo again, and I was like, or whatever it's called.
Oh,
I was, yeah.
I used
I had
Dash
a
Wings to
rough
get in.
time. Yeah.
That you somehow
not Sea Dash
got
Wings,
the
Sea
flying
Dash Claw.
husk. The flying
What?
husk somehow made it over to you, Maddie.
Oh yeah. The flying husk went
How?
underneath. It followed me underneath the platform. And
I
I
don't
was
know
like,
how you got
yeah, sure. Why not? Why
Yeah.
not? Just fine.
Yeah, that was rough.
It was a little bit of bullying.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
at least I didn't die twice to Baldur Shell this time. So, like, I can be a little less ashamed of myself for, like, my first ever, well, I guess now second.
Yeah,
like, but,
I
like,
walk into Mound. I'm like, ooh, Mantis Claw, cool, let's grab this. Immediately starts swiping in anger at getting a Dreamer already.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't want this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it gave me Light Seed early, which was nice, but, like, I think there's actually probably a faster way to get to Light Seed than I went, because I went through Dirtmouth, but, like, I didn't know how to get there the other way, so I was like, well, I know this works. So
Well,
we're
in
just
my
gonna go
case,
through
I completely blanked on what Light Seeds are, so I'm like, you know what? He can have it.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I'll take I took a couple of the goals early game to keep it close, but yeah, like, especially
Yeah, I
since you had that,
I
you're
was
so far
hoping
ahead.
to grab the idols. I saw you mark the eggs. I'm like, I'm not even close yet. I see
Yeah.
you mark the idols. I'm like, I have 2, and then
I have the
finds two,
same
I'm
2
like,
that you had, yeah. And then I found the
Uh-oh.
King Station, yeah.
And yeah, I find the 2 at King Station. I'm like, oh no, I need to go snipe Hopper now.
That death at Hopper was super unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Where were the other 2 simple keys?
The other 2 simple keys, so we obviously saw the one at Fury, and our second one was at Dashmaster. There was another
what's my
simple key at the Zote Idol in Deep Nest, and the fourth simple key was at Glade of Hope.
Classic. Okay.
Wait, say that again?
The 2 simple keys that were not found, one was at the Zote Idol in Deep Nest, and one was at the Glade of Hope, so behind Dreamnail and 200 Essence.
Wow. I had the 200 Essence because I killed Elder Who and Gorb.
I didn't even have Dreamnail. So, yeah, no. And, like, that was a really, like, it was so fast that, like, you had such an early lead that, like, you know, it's not like the kind of thing where it's like, oh, there's a couple, like slow goals that you'll have to take time to do while I can potentially catch up. You had so many goals so fast, especially because it got the random obtain mods. I was like, okay.
Yeah, the goals just kept chaining into each other. And then when I was like, okay, there's no goals I can clear right now. What's good in check dents? Okay, I'll go here. Oh, I can clear 2 more goals now.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, that's how things goes.
Everything just chained together this seed.
Yeah.
The only way that would have been faster for me is if I had done Pleasure House over GG's Hut.
Yeah.
Because
the only thing that changed together for me were my deaths, so you know, happens.
Yeah, because the deaths would have prolonged it a little bit because you would have sniped Great Hopper.
Yeah, well, the thing is that death to Dream Hopper wouldn't even have mattered had I not died earlier when I was so fast to King Station. So like, yeah, no, I had a couple rough deaths.
Yeah, because if you would have marked Great Hopper before me, I probably would have been like, okay, Colo goal's yours.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Like,
I probably would have left that one for you, unless I had Ismas, which I didn't yet.
I actually, yeah.
You guys found different Ismas at the exact same time.
Okay. Yeah.
That's great. Found both C dashes.
I had claw C dash, so like I was like, okay,
yeah, I
maybe
found
I can
both
do some
C
ads to get to
dashes.
feel better about myself, but nope, I find Ismas. I can't even do that. Okay.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, shout outs to that Duke Claw.
What was it?
Duke Claw's
S'more
Shroom.
Oh, classic.
It was great. Where were the other 2 cloaks?
Good question. The other 2 cloaks. So what did we see already? We saw
Leg
obviously
Eater and Grubs.
Okay, the other 2 cloaks. There was one at Deep Focus and one at Hidden Station Stag. So
Where's Hidden Station Stag?
both of them.
There.
Yeah, both of them a pretty long walk away. Hidden Station Stag was at the Wanderer's Journal in Ancient Basins. That's Broken Bridge, which I think Maddie went for.
I went for it, but I didn't have dash, and then I failed my pogo and didn't want to die again. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a rough check to do without any sort of horizontal.
Yeah. I thought maybe I could like try to do a C dash thing, but the wall just don't line up.
Yeah.
The platforms, the added platforms ruined the C dash across too.
Yeah.
I feel like if Nosk would have been sniped from me, I probably would have started clearing out skipped checks, starting with Moloch, which would have led me to die, which would have led me to C peaks into vanilla D dart.
Yeah, I mean, like the moment you found Dreamnail ahead of me, like it was just matter of time, right? Like.
Yeah, as soon as I found Dreamnail, I feel like I I might have just secured this.
Yeah, really, that's what it's like. Because obviously, like you were faster early game, but like it was so close. But then the moment you found Dreamnail, it's like okay, that's like 3, like that's.
Yeah, Dreamnail was immediately 3 goals.
Yeah, exactly. And there's nothing I can do that way, which like happens. And I mean like, yeah, it happens. And I mean, I got
Rando's gonna rando.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I did. I went out of logic, and not surprisingly, you go out of logic, you find no progression. That's kind of how that happens.
I think I don't know if C-Dash Claw puts Blue Lake into logic.
Yeah,
it does.
It does, but I didn't have C-Dash.
Yeah, I'm assuming it does. Yeah, I was going to try to do Kill and Aluba because I had VS and Shaman Stone. Then I find C-Dash, I'm like, well, this just became really free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think Hornet, Stag, and the Relic outside is the only thing I did in Green Path. I mean, I killed Vengefly King and the Moss Knight and stuff to grab some quick Geo, planning to buy out Leg Eater if it ended up only being a couple things. But I even did a little celebration at the end after I killed Nosk and marked the goal and started juggling the mask.
Nice.
Yeah, shout outs to when that goal used to be, instead of just kill Nosk, it used to be juggle Nosk's mask 3 times, so you could kill Nosk and then lock yourself out of that goal. Old Rando was the Wild West. You love
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
That's way before my rando time.
It was. Oh, hey, that's a goal you can lock yourself out of. It's like, yeah, let's not have goals like that anymore.
Rando has definitely exploded in popularity of late, and I think this tournament is a good demonstration of that.
I mean, I wouldn't even be in the tournament without that, because literally, like, I didn't know about Randomizer existence, that I found the Swiss rounds, and then when it was like, you can join, I was like, cool, let's lose twice, that'll be fun.
Yeah, I've been playing this rando since it's been a little while, not too horribly long. I want to say about 6 so months.
Yeah, I think for me, it's been very recent. So like, no, I definitely much as I mentioned the first time, especially there was lots of nerves about playing, but also.
Oh yeah, you will definitely get that.
My expectations on myself are so low that it becomes easier to
once you've done enough races, the nervousness of doing the races goes down huge.
Yeah, and I mean,
that still happens to me when I'm doing a race in a rando I'm not used to, because I take time to learn a lot of different randos. So that still happens to me with newer randos that I'm learning.
Yeah.
Right, I think that's about it. We've explored the spoiler log to its fullest extent. So with that win, Aero is going to play DFT next in losers round 3. That'll be a good match.
That'll be a good one.
Good luck, Aero.
Shout outs to Maddie for jumping into this partway through the bracket. It was good fun to have you around as a racer.
Thank you.
Definitely. It's pretty fun.
This is our last race for today, but we got, I believe, 3 races coming up
tomorrow.
Everyone is racing this weekend.
Well, all loser. We had 1 week to do our matches, or to sign up for our matches. So a lot are going to be done this week, and there's 3 tomorrow. The earliest one being at 2 p.m. EDT. So
yeah, stay tuned if you're liking what you're seeing so far. Definitely, there's always more Hollow Knight Rando happening.
Always more Hollow Knight Rando.
So GG's to both runners again, and thank you, Sour, for coming with me.
yeah, GG's. Thanks for coming. GG's to both racers. GG's to you, Aero.
Okay.
Good luck on your next match.
I'm gonna need it.